If you clicked on this video, you probably feel like you're behind, you feel like you're lost, and you feel like everyone your age is ahead of you. And that fear of missing out can be something very real. But those feelings are actually based on an illusion that is amplified by our brains and by social media. And in this video, I'm going to explain what causes those feelings. Our 20s are a confusing period of time. For some, everything goes to plan. They land their dream job or they hit a crypto pump, while for others nothing goes to plan. Some marry young and have many children, while others don't even know where to start from. One thing is for sure, our 20s are a period of hardships and confusion. We all experience our own difficulties, yet many of us that are part of Gen Z constantly feel like we're behind or we feel like we're lost, when in reality this is simply not true, because we're all confused and we all need time to grow and develop ourselves. So then, why do we feel so bad about it? We as humans are social creatures that are used to living into small tribes. In order to understand many of our current social thinking patterns, we have to understand our tribal thinking. In fact, many of our current social thinking patterns have developed as surviving mechanisms. A long time ago, being a productive member of the tribe increased our chances of survival, and therefore our brains evolved in ways that would keep us in the tribe, which would ensure our survival. But how does that relate to feeling lost in your 20s? Well, in the past, we had to make sure that we were an active member of the tribe that contributed something to the group, so we wouldn't be left behind. And that's how we started to compare ourselves with each other. For example, if we were more or less on the same level in hunting compared to the other members of the group, that was a positive sign. But if you were severely lacking in some areas, that was considered a danger, because this could mean that we could be expelled from the tribe. Can you understand the logic behind this mindset? So, the reason why comparing with our peers became so deep and subconscious was because it ensured our survival. Now move forward to 2026. We no longer live in tribes, we get our information from Facebook and our entertainment from TikTok. Yet, our brains still operate by similar principles and similar thinking patterns influence our psyche. You see someone your age driving a Ferrari in Dubai or becoming a famous influencer with millions of followers, and you subconsciously start to feel like you're behind or feel like you're lost. In this case, your brain is telling you you're falling behind from the tribe, which meant danger back in the days. But what your brain won't tell you is that you're comparing yourself to an illusion. We as Gen Z were the first generation to ever experience the internet at such a young age. We're the first generation to catch up with our friends by sending them a reel on Instagram instead of calling them, and the first generation to hear the news on TikTok instead of reading them in the daily newspaper. But what we don't realize about social media is that it's a well-fabricated illusion. And what I mean by this is that a lot of what we see on social media simply doesn't correspond with reality, and therefore it's not real. Social media is set up in a way so people show their top 0.01% of their lives. And now, because of the algorithm, we see not only the top 0.01% of the lives of people we know, but also the top 0.01% of the lives of people we don't even know, because the goal is to make us feel this strong emotion, no matter whether it's negative or positive, because that is what will keep us longer on the platform. You open Facebook and you see your friend from high school getting married, but you don't see the cheating and the divorce 2 years later. You see your friend posting a story about him getting his dream job, but you don't see the sleepless nights, the endless shifts, and the health problems he had to go through in order to reach his goal. You see a guy living his best life on a boat in Monaco, but you don't see that everything is on credit and that he owes millions to the bank. That's why social media is mostly fake. It shows a version of people's life that simply doesn't exist by itself. And social media does that by activating our tribal thinking. You compare yourself to a version of someone's life that doesn't really exist in real life, and that's why you feel like you're behind. During our whole lives, but especially in our 20s, we all feel confused. We all feel like we're behind. and we all feel like we're failing, and that's completely normal. But in the meantime, social media gives us a platform where we can hide this fact better. And let me tell you a little secret. If you have goals for your future, you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. The thing is, on social media, no one really posts their failures, their hardships, their bad days, their breakups, and it seems like the grass is always greener on the other side, and that everyone else's lives is only success and vacations and cars, but this is just a very, very small part of the whole picture. This is a uniquely Gen Z problem for now, and I hope you got a more realistic perspective on the reality of life outside of social media. With that being said, there's a lot more to be said about the different effects of social media, so comment below if you want to hear more. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and follow me on Instagram, where I'll be making more content on the topic. See you next time.